And we are back at Woodbine. It feels awesome to be back here on Woodbine Oaks Day. Also the play trial coming up, the Connaught Cup. But the big news here, making her first appearance ever at Woodbine, the Jessica Paquette. Jessica, it's been amazing.
It has been absolutely amazing. I've had the best time. Woodbine came with quite a billing, and I have to say it has exceeded my expectations. The Canadian hospitality has been amazing. The racing has been wonderful, and I even cashed a couple of tickets so far the past couple of days since we've been here. I'm having a great time, but the best is still ahead.
Yep, and she's been humble. We've got the Connaught Cup coming up. We also have the plate trial coming up, and then the Woodbine Oaks, which is the feature. This is the scene around Woodbine today. You could see tons of people filtering in, and Jessica, the racing has been great as well.
The racing has been fantastic, and the energy from the crowd has been amazing. This is a packed house today. We've seen a lot of racing fans. We've had some visitors on set, and as we've been bopping around, and it has been just a spectacular day to be at the races. There's some weather that may or may not be coming our way, but a little rain never scared anybody.
A little rain. That kid doesn't care right there. He's having a great day. Great food out here, great drink. Our next guest is going to give us some insight into whether this weather is a factor at all. It looks like it's maybe stopped now. Maybe not. It's probably not going to be a factor, but we'll let you chime in. Mark Casse, of course, legendary trainer, and here at Woodbine, you are. I'm amazed we got you for a few minutes. So thank you for stopping in.
With a very busy day, so thank you for taking a few minutes in between saddling some major horses later on today.
Well, thanks for having me. Yes, we got one in the 8th coming up here, so. The rain could be a little bit of a factor there. This is on the turf, so. But as far as the plate trial and the Oaks, we're on Tapeta.
Yeah.
Rain doesn't bother.
There's a beauty to an all-weather surface, isn't there?
For me, it helps me sleep better at night. You can schedule your training around it and know it's going to happen. And many a morning it'll be pouring rain, and I'll wake up and say, oh, good, we're on Tapeta, because, rain changes everything, especially with the dirt.
And I ride show horses recreationally, and I enjoy all-weather footing as well, because I can ride outside pretty much year-round, even in New England.
Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. In Ocala, we've got WEC, the big horse complex, big show jumping, and everywhere around us is putting in rings with synthetic.
So it's a little bit everywhere, and that's an interesting conversation about surfaces that I would love to pick your brain on when you have more time. But let's get right into the racing. Coming up next, Lucky Score. Tell me about this horse, and what do you think about his chances coming up?
He's a nice horse. This is a little bit of a tougher race. I believe that he's going to like the 7/8, though. He gets up going 3/4, but it's a challenge to him. This is a little tougher race than he won last time, but I think he's going to run well.
And now he's making his third start, coming back off of not an insignificant layoff. Do you tend to think that horses get sharper in that third start of the form cycle? It's one of my favorite angles.
It's one of mine, too. I do believe that. We bought this horse after his last race last year, brought him to Ocala, to our training center, and gave him some time off, and he's come back and he's done well. And as you say, third start off layoff, that's always my favorite. When I'm conditioning horses and trying to get them ready for big races, I use that.
You've just validated like a lifetime of my handicapping theory, so thank you.
Go ahead, sorry.
No, I'm glad I could help somebody.
Great minds think alike.
The plate trial is the 9th race here, 5:23 post time for that one. You've got Paramount Prince and Grand Spirited. Paramount Prince, interesting, at least for me from a handicapping perspective. I don't see a whole lot of pace here aside from Forest Buzz on the outside. Is the plan to just go, or kind of see how that plays out early and hopefully be, obviously.
Well, I have Patrick Husbands on him, and yeah. I think Patrick's won over 1,500 races for me.
You're letting him come up with that plan?
Yeah, I don't really give him any plans. But I agree with you, not a lot of speed. It's going to be whether he can get the distance or not. Mm-hmm. And then the other horse, Grand Spirited, he needs some pace and some luck.
Okay, so Paramount Prince, there's a maybe. I will tell you, Lucky Score, in his most recent race, the Highlander, right? I gave out Lucky Score as a pick. Not that you care, but I care because I made money. I am picking Elysian Field in the Woodbine Oaks days. Hopefully that bodes well for everybody. Give us an overview of your 3 starters in the race and where Elysian Field, Ticker Tape.
In the Oaks?
Yeah, yes. In the Oaks.
Well, Ticker Tape Home is definitely the most talented. It's going to be a question of can she get a mile and an eighth. Mm-hmm. let's throw her dirt race out at Tampa. I thought her Florida Oaks race on the grass, that's turned out to be a very good race. So it was good. I have a feeling there's some trainers in here with multiple horses. I think they're going to be gunning for her and trying to make her life a little tough. And it's just whether she can go a mile and an eighth. I think she's probably the best horse in the race.
Okay.
It's just whether she can go a mile and an eighth. My other two fillies, Latian Field and Me and My Shadow, are both training extremely well. I think both will probably appreciate the longer distance.
And if the pace does develop, the two of them would seem to benefit for the
Yeah, they'll end up benefiting from it. But Ticker Tape Home's an extremely talented horse. It's just about whether she can get that far, and I think a lot of that's going to depend on how much pressure she receives early on.
I agree entirely. I was very intrigued by Me and My Shadow, a little bit off of the pedigree for the added distance with her with the stretch out. I've seen quite a few violences in person recently, and I'm more and more impressed by them the more I see. Like, a lot of bone, a lot of substance to them. And
She's a beautiful horse. A little disappointing, honestly. I think the trip to Saratoga set her back, and she just, even when we came back, she would run good, but she didn't train great. And even I gave her this winter off, and even in our trainer center this winter, to me, she just wasn't there.
It takes all of us a little while to recover from Saratoga.
Yeah, but she's back now. I think she's training better, and we're expecting a big effort out of her.
Mark, since this is an adult show, I'm drinking a beer. I'm just curious, what is your drink of choice?
Soda water.
Really? No alcohol for you?
No, I drink maybe one beer.
Stella, of course.
I like Stella.
There we go.
I like
right.
Stella.
Stella's.
I love Stella. I love Stella.
Enough said there. And last thing for me, at least, Woodbine has been home for you for a long time. You've talked to me in the past about how special this place is to you. Tell me why.
For me, it's everything. This is where it's, put me where I am at. It's put me in 2 Hall of Fames. I personally, and I said it to anybody and everyone, there is not a better place to develop a horse. And I think we've won 2 classics, 6 Breeders' Cups, and they've all come through here at some point or some time.
And what do you
think? With the
think?
exception of Wonder Wheel. Wonder Wheel didn't make it as her 2-year-old year, but the others have, yes.
And what's the secret sauce that Woodbine has?
I think it's a lot of things. I think it's the synthetic surface. We can train on synthetic, we can train on dirt. We have probably the best turf course maybe in the world, in North America, definitely. It's the weather. It's Saratoga weather.
Without the humidity.
You got it.
I went for a run this morning and couldn't believe the lack of humidity.
So there's a lot of different things. I think a lot of times, with me racing everywhere, I don't know that sometimes the people that are stabled here realize how good it is, because it's really good.
And sometimes a little outside perspective makes you really happy to go home.
Yes.
Well, you've been very gracious with your time. You've got a race here coming up.
Yeah, I might want to get going here. Yes.
Go on and good luck here. You got Lucky Score coming up in the Connaught Cup. We wish you lots of luck, and then we hope to see you in the winner's circle for the next 2 as well.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's Mark Casse, Hall of Fame trainer, joining us for a few minutes here. We appreciate that. So give us some insights. I wonder how you read through. I mean, it doesn't sound like he was overly hot on Lucky Score. Paramount Prince, maybe he's a little more excited about that one over Grand Spirit, and then Ticker Tape Home, he obviously
Really
big
liked.
endorsement there.
I mean, the talent, but sometimes talent does only take you so far when you really need a little bit of luck.
Yep. So I'm going to put up on the screen here, we've got here selections from some of the handicappers on site. You're seeing now on the bottom there, you see the odds for the Connaught Cup, so we should probably just briefly here go through the odds, go through the horses, let you know who's in. The one there is Banff. That's 16-1 currently. Your favorite is Churchtown. Of course, we've heard a lot of buzz about. Currently 8-5, trained by Roger Outfield, ridden by Emma Jane Wilson. The 3 is Dream Shake at 5-1. The 4 horse, also 5-1. Lucky Score, Mark Casse. The 5-horse War Bomber, 13-1. The 6 Dreams of Tomorrow, 8-1. 7 has been scratched. And the 8-horse is Bound for Nowhere. Pretty classy horse. We've seen plenty of.
Horse.
8-5 on the morning line, drifting up a little bit to 9-2. The 9 is Old Chestnut at 16-1. And the 10-horse is 30-1. That's Roaring 40s, who we met briefly yesterday in the barn of Katerina Vasilyeva. What do we think here?
I think this is probably the most wide open of the races we get to handicap today. You can go a lot of different ways. I think you and I are in very different places in
Well,
this
where are you
race.
at?
Well, I am a shameless Michael Stidham fangirl.
Okay.
So I was a little sucked in by Dream Shake, who the turf is such a question mark for this horse. One try on the grass.
Yep.
It didn't go so hot. Let's be really clear. So I'm putting a lot of faith in this horse and in Michael Stidham, I trust. But I like this horse's current tactical speed. Seems versatile, shows a little bit of everything. And going to Mark Casse's point, who again validated all of my handicapping thoughts, third start of the form cycle, which is my favorite go-to angle. And I do think this horse did change hands, came from Peter Yurton to Michael Stidham. And I do wonder if Stidham Martin have took their time figuring out this horse, and maybe now they're really starting to get all the pieces correct.
Yeah. Look, you know I handicap based on pace a lot. And by the way, I should tell people, you're going to hear noise around us, various pops of noise.
There's a lot going on.
And that's because we're just in the middle of the grandstand, right? Like, we're indoors here on the second floor at Woodbine, which is just an awesome place to be, because when the races go off, people go absolutely nuts here, and we love that noise and that energy. I will say, on pace, Dream Shake is interesting as a bit of a pace presence, but I thought Churchtown to the inside had some speed. I thought War Bomber to the outside had a little bit of speed. And then I thought Roaring 40s on the outside. Really, only chance was to go to the front. So I think there'll be a little pace that develops here. In terms of a closer, Lucky Score, spoke to Mark, closed in the Highlander to win from well off the pace. And then, like Dreams of Tomorrow a little bit, the 6-horse ships up for Shug McGahee off a 5th place finish in the Poker Stakes. Prior to that, had won an allowance going a mile in the 16th at Belmont. So this is the horse's first race at Woodbine, first time at 7 furlongs. But that race, the Poker Stakes last out, the horse was off Lasix and is now back on Lasix and has just performed better on Lasix. So I'm going to go on that angle and say Dreams of Tomorrow, the 6-horse at 8-1 is a good play here.
I think that's a really interesting play, and you have to look at that field for the Poker Stakes. That's a really, really good group.
It was, absolutely.
Had a really tough group that day. I think he fits very well with this group. I was admittedly a little intrigued by Old Chestnut at a big price now, 14-1. I think he sits a pretty good stalking trip here, maybe able to pick up some pieces.
Yep. I love the name first and foremost, but
Why?
yes, we watched some replays as well, and I'm convinced Old Chestnut could definitely get a piece at 14-1 as well.
Sure. And then Bound for Nowhere. I mean, we've seen him so many times. What do we do with him? I do think he's more appealing at 9-2 than at a shorter price than that.
Yeah, look, I think best days probably behind Bound for Nowhere, but he might just be classy enough to pick up a share here. I don't know if he wins.
I don't think he wants 7 furlongs.
Neither do I. Yeah, and I mean, look, he's got 2 races at Woodbine. He's hit the board in both, but 8-5 morning line, currently 9-2. I think that tells you something. The horse is drifting, not getting much public support. I would like to get the perspective of a jockey, if we could. Do we have any jockeys around?
I think we might have a jockey who's a very familiar face for me. This is Sophia Vives, who I get to call in the winner's circle quite a bit at Parks. You're a bit of a road warrior going from Woodbine to Parks every week. I just go from Massachusetts to Parks every week.
Yes, it's a lot of traveling, but it's all worth it, especially with the winners and being an apprentice. You know, we ride as many mounts as we can just to keep learning, and right now we're doing great, so hopefully we keep it going for the year.
And what are you learning? What are the lessons you've learned in the past month?
Oh, a lot. I mean, every race is a new opportunity to learn something new. Every horse is different. Between Woodbine and Parks, it's 2 completely different surfaces, 2 completely different ways of riding. So here's more about patience. At Parks, everybody's really fast-paced, so you got to kind of try to keep up with the guys there. And I mean,
you have left them in your dust a fair bit of time.
Yes, it's patience. Patience is the biggest thing, I think, in this game. And at both tracks, we play a fair bit of having to have patience. And I mean, you learn something new every day. Every horse is different. Every trainer likes different things. Every owner wants something different, and you got to try to make everybody happy.
And what type of horse is your favorite to ride?
Oh, All of them. All of them.
The ones who win?
Do you like? Do you like a horse with a lot of natural early speed, or do you like to come from off the pace?
Right now, I kind of enjoy coming off the pace. Being able to route the field. Just being patient. I really and to be an apprentice and to show that you can be patient, I think, is a big thing, because a lot of people think you have to be in the lead, you have to be right, and that's not it. Let your horse settle, let them get their feet underneath themselves, and come with a big run at the end and see if you can catch them.
How does someone from Walterboro, South Carolina, end up at Woodbine?
Oh man. Well, my dad was actually riding horses there, and then they went to Ocala, got in with Mark Casse. Mark took me under his wing. He's seen me my whole life grow up on the farm, and as soon as I graduated high school, I got the opportunity to work with him, and it took off ever since then. Horses are all that I wanted to do. That's everything I know. So. Okay.
Do you have any? You have to have one preference. Is it Clemson or South Carolina for you? Who do you?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't.
Yeah, you don't even. You don't do that.
You're
all horses.
Talking when I was saying.
Yeah, you just do horses. That's all you know.
A girl after my own heart, really. It's all horses all the time.
This is the only sport that exists.
Yes.
On a day like today, so you're now you're not in the jockey garb, right? People watching could have seen you a couple of races ago. You were in the 5th race. What is your typical day like, though? When does it start? When does it end? And what goes on throughout the day?
I get up every morning at 5:30. My agent sends me my list of workers. I get on my workers. I go home. Usually I have a good breakfast, and then I go right to the room. We're pretty busy.
What kind of breakfast?
I like boiled eggs.
That's a good breakfast? What's a bad breakfast?
Oh, I don't even. I'm not a good cook, and that's the only thing I can make.
That's a great breakfast.
So
breakfast of champions, hard-boiled eggs.
Jessica's a fan of the minimalist breakfast, the 5:30 a.m. wake up.
Exactly. Boiled eggs takes no effort.
And they last for a few days.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can just kind of set it and forget it.
Perfect.
All right,
yes.
so we've gotten through breakfast. Now what happens?
I go right to the room. I go over all my races. I call my agent, and we break every race down just to see what the best possible trip for the horse could be. I ride on my races. I go home, have dinner, and that's usually chicken, because I can only make chicken. And then by then I go to bed, but it's the same thing every day. Just wake up, work the morning, ride the races, eat dinner, and I'm in bed.
Okay,
yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Well, I really feel terribly for the food that you're eating. It doesn't sound that great, but there's
mustard
time.
or hot sauce makes a lot of things a lot better.
Yeah, just douse it, right? We're going to put the feed of the Connaught Cup up on the screen. I wonder, Sophia, you probably haven't looked at this race at all, right?
No, but I can really quick.
Yeah,
What
if
is
you
it
could
then?
open it up, because I'm curious, when you're preparing to ride a race, for example, so we're in race 8 right now.
Okay.
When you're preparing to ride a race, what are you looking for when you're sizing up the competition and that sort of thing?
I usually look at the distance, what horses have ran this distance before, and in this class. I look a lot into the riders, who you want to steer clear of, or what riders are around you that can kind of box you in and not give you the opportunity to break loose when you need to.
Mm-hmm. You're not going to say any names here,
no.
are you? Okay.
No, I can't give that away. I always look at the speed. I look at my horse to see what his best style of running is, and if he likes to be close, then you look at the speed, and you got to see who's going to go and who you can sit off of or who you can outbreak. And sometimes with the speed, you can just go right to the front and not look back.
I've noticed that. I've seen you kind of go into the lead and just trying to steal those races.
Yes. Sometimes you can intimidate the riders if you really show them that you want the lead and that's where you're going to go. Then they take back because they look at you like, wow, look at her going so fast, and you can kind of steal the first quarter.
I like that.
Yes.
So the horses are kind of circling behind the gate here. They're going onto the turf course. We'll give you an easy out here. We're going to ask you to pick a horse. The 4 horse is trained by Mark Casse, so I figure that's where you're going, right?
Yes.
I think that's good business.
Of course.
That is smart business.
Of course.
Now, what would your strategy with this horse be?
So he doesn't look like he has a ton of speed. It's 7 furlongs on the turf course, and you got a long stretch. So you look at the speed, look who's going to go. You try to save ground, especially on the outer turf. So you can see who the speed. I mean, the 2 has a little bit, the 3, the 5. So you kind of let them all
the
go,
10.
and
You're
the
making
10.
me sound smart. These are the horses I pointed out.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. So you want to, whatever horse you get stuck behind is the horse that you hope has enough kick that you can split the pocket.
Very cool. 7 furlongs on the turf. Any preferred post position?
No.
You could win from anywhere.
Yes,
7 furlongs on the
just
turf,
try to
right?
save as much ground, especially on the outer with a big turn. And you have a long stretch, so you can be as patient as you can. And usually on the outer, it's always only 2 horses. It's never you'll never really see 3, 4 horses wide on the outer.
Okay.
They're
All
pretty
right.
smart here.
So we're gonna keep you with us. If you can stay with us for a few more
Yes.
minutes, we're gonna take our sound down. We're gonna put the track sound up, and we'll also hear the crowd here, which is great. Have you ever taken in a race here, and seeing everybody go nuts?
No.
You'll
never.
enjoy this. All right.
This is fun.
Start for Old Chestnut, best into stride. Going to the lead soon after is Bound for Nowhere. Third, Roaring 40s, Dream Shake the centre. And then War Bomber, Bam. For length to Churchtown is third last early from Dreams of Tomorrow, and Lucky Scores at the back. Racing with the advantage, Roaring 40s took over. A length to Dream Shake, a length to Bound for Nowhere. Bamf on the inside, then War Bomber. 3 wide Old Chestnut, a length behind the pack is Churchtown. Dreams of Tomorrow second last, and Lucky Score is the trailer. About 7.5 lengths covers the field, and Roaring 40s from the outside gate crosses to the rail and leads by a length and a half to Dream Shake. A couple to Bound for Nowhere. Bamf is fourth on the inside. 3 wide Old Chestnut from War Bomber. Churchtown coming a little bit away from the inside now to get a clear shot to make a run, and then Dreams of Tomorrow, and last is Lucky Score. Racing free is Roaring 40s. A length and a half, Dream Shake, Bound for Nowhere. Around the outside, Old Chestnut, War Bomber. Bamf can't go on from the looks of it, and running is Churchtown, but still 6 or 7 off, and Lucky Score to the outside. And now Dream Shake races up to join Roaring 40s, Bound for Nowhere down the centre, and trying to get involved. Lucky Score right down the outside, and Churchtown is splitting horses now and is running on, but got tightened and down the outside. Lucky Score up to Dream Shake, and now Churchtown and Old Chestnut. And trying to get up here, Lucky Score, Dream Shake in front. Dream Shake narrowly, Churchtown coming through. And down to the wide, Dream Shake's got it. Dream Shake
10-to-1 winner in her first race with us.
The outside, Lucky Score back in a while. What can I say?
Come on now.
It's Michael Stidham, I trust.
It's not that easy.
Awesome.
10-to-1 winner. How about that? Welcome to the show.
Like what? Like it's hard?
Yesterday, when we were not on camera, she gave me an 11-to-1 winner that I bet. This one I didn't bet because we're here. But,
Really?
so.
Did you get me yesterday? I had a long shot.
Which race were you?
The last.
I
we were
missed
gone.
that one.
Yeah, we were gone by then.
Oh, no.
What were the
money and
odds?
I think she was like 7-1, but still, that's better than.
7-to-1 is good.
Yeah,
We'll take
exactly.
7-to-1. What has it been like? Just, you mentioned intimidating the other riders and all that. There's got to be a little bit of that, these guys, they're going to try to bully me
Yes.
around. Screw that.
I've
That's
heard
not happening.
you take no prisoners, which I
Tell us about that dynamic.
which I really admire.
Yes. No, I mean, I don't really get intimidated. I'm a girl in the game, and they always give girls a hard time, so you just try to be as tough as everybody else. I mean, everybody's here to get the job done. So you do what's safe by the horses, and you do what's right by the owners and trainers, and it usually all pays off.
Yeah.
I think that's a great perspective
Yeah.
and a great attitude too to have.
you.
And you can't show weakness. You have to go in with confidence,
Yes.
internalize any of the stuff you're
Yes.
feeling, and do
Yes,
the job.
exactly, yes.
What are the goals long term?
Just keep winning races. Keep
What-
doing good.
What is the race that would be like the mountain that you want to win the most?
Oh, all of them. If I had to pick one, obviously every apprentice's dream is, the Triple Crown, the Kentucky Derby or the Queen's Plate here, and it's hard, to make long-term goals like that as an apprentice, especially now that I ride 7 days, because there's so many other little things that I need to focus on, and there's smaller goals that my agent and I have put together that we try to accomplish. And earlier in the year I said to win 2 in a day, then we bumped it to 3, now we're at 4. Now if I could hit 4 in a day, oh man, that'd be great.
So tell folks that don't really know, what exactly is the role of an agent, and how important is that in your kind of day-to-day life?
So my agent is Jordan Miller. He he does everything, basically. I mean, he picks out all the horses I ride. He picks up all the horses that I get on in the morning. He lines up all my times, all my races, and as an apprentice, he's a very, very good agent, and he's kind of like a best friend to me right now, because anytime I ever need anything here, he's the first person to go to, and I have no family here in Canada, so
Your
he
grandmother's
is like
home in
family.
Parks.
Yes, exactly, yes. And he has my book in Parks too, and he does a great job in both places, and he's a big role in my career.
And what else does an agent teach you as far as like how to conduct your business with like interacting with trainers and horsemen on the backside?
Yes, he knows everybody here on the backside, so he knows what people you could joke with, what people you should be a little more serious. So he does kind of steer me in those directions, but he's a very likable guy, you know, so everybody gets along with him. Every time they see him, he's just like, it's like sunshine. You know, he's always happy. You never see him in a bad mood, and it's really good because sometimes, you know, you make mistakes and he'll tell me, oh, go out there and win the next one. And sometimes you need that. You need that encouragement, especially after a mistake with a big trainer, nice horse, you know. Not everything's perfect. And he's definitely a very, very big motivator in this game.
Well, somebody who needs no encouragement right now is Jessica, having nailed a 10-to-1 shot again. In the Connaught Cup.
I am having the best time ever in Canada.
I mean, people coming up to you, asking for autographs, you're kissing babies, you're doing it all, you're picking winners. 10-to-1 on Dream Shake. That's a sure thing. You're going to get paid if you bet Dream Shake, but if you bet the Superfecta, you might want to keep an eye on what's going on right now. There's an inquiry here. It looks like they're looking at Churchtown, the fourth-place finisher. If Churchtown gets bumped, the payout here on the Superfecta will be even more insane than it's already going to be with 10-to-1 Dream Shake on top, War Bomber at 13-to-1 second, and Lucky Score third at 3-to-1. This also reminds me, Woodbine has introduced a new bet here called the Swinger Bet. This is big in Europe. It's big overseas, really everywhere. And so the thing is, let's say, for example, in this race, had you bet Dream Shake and Lucky Score in your exacta, you would have lost. But if you bet the Swinger Bet, and if you bet 3-4, you'd get paid. Now, you get paid a little less, but you get paid if you finish first and third or second and third as well. We've got a little video explaining all that.
Tell me more.
Let's take a look.
Looking to try something new? Spice up your ticket with the new Swinger Wager at Woodbine and Mohawk Park. So how does the Swinger work? Well, say you have two horses you think will run well in a race, but you really aren't sure how things will finish. Well, for $1, you can put those horses on your Swinger ticket, and they can finish anywhere in the top 3 positions. First or second, second and third, first and third, they all pay out. Available on every race at Woodbine and Mohawk Park. Ask for the Swinger Wager wherever you play Woodbine Racing today. Giddy up.
So that's the Omni Swinger Bet. They're still looking at the fourth place finish here at Churchtown. Sophia, you've been really good with your time. We appreciate it. We know you're going back to Parks, right? You're riding at both tracks. The other thing you're doing in terms of multitasking is you've been doing social media. You've done social media for us.
Yes.
Tell me about how you think social media can be used, or have been using social media to get people engaged with racing and really follow your career.
I think it's a good thing, but sometimes I think it's a little bit of a downfall because you only see the good in the business. You know, you never really see all the difficult things that jocks go through. But it's a hard game. It is a very hard game, but I think being able to show people the good that you do is very, very rewarding, you know, especially to younger kids and people that I know that want to become jockeys. It's kind of a little motivating step for them because I came from Ocala, Florida, you know. I mean, yes, there's horses, but there's not much there, you know. So if I'm able to do it, you know, and I got my foot in the door with a really good trainer, you know, Mark Casse really helped me get through everything, and it should be a motivating factor for kids who want to learn and want to get into the game.
Well, you are making it look easy, even though we know it's not. So credit to you for that. And, you guys are going to see each other pretty soon.
Yes,
So
we're on the same flight back to Parks tomorrow. So see you at 7:30 in the morning.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right,
Thank
good seeing you.
you.
Sophia Vivas there, apprentice jockey here at Woodbine. Okay, so now I've got some bad news for you. I don't know what's going on here, but this looks like they are now looking at Dream Shake.
Boo.
They've now got the inquiry moved to Dream Shake. I didn't see anything here. We got the head on here too. Oh, that. I mean, I didn't see anything there that seemed too bad. I mean, I know you're. Oh, there we go. It's that.
I mean,
move.
it's not good, but it's also not terribly egregious. I think this is one that could go
They can't do this to you.
either way.
They can't do this
One
to you.
time, guys. One time.
They can't do this to you. They cannot do this to you. All right, so
There's
we
nothing
await
like sweating out an
a
inquiry.
call here, and so the other thing at a track, I know you're not going to throw your hands up in the air and start cursing because you're a professional, but the people
Yes.
around us might, and that would be kind of cool to see if, if there was a DQ. But I don't want it to happen for your sake.
I will keep my F-bombs internal for this.
Oh my God! So look. This is scary. You've got money on a 10-1 shot here. You don't want this horse disqualified.
I do not want this horse disqualified. And the stewards do have a tough job. I always sometimes think the longer the inquiry takes, the less it looks in your favor. But it can go either way.
Sean
Keep them up.
Patrick.
Thank you, SPN.
Yeah,
Yes.
SPN, chime
One
in,
time.
keep them up for Jessica. By the way, if you guys are commenting, let us know who you're betting right now. Let us know who you like in the
Heckle
upcoming
us,
races.
please. Come
Heckle
join.
us.
I mean,
make
if you're
fun of
here,
us.
also at Woodbine, come heckle us.
Yeah, let us know what you're drinking. For me, it is Stella. For Jessica,
It is water. Cheers.
Water. Cheers. Cheers to Oaks Day.
I have to stay hydrated while you were sleeping this morning. I was running 10 miles.
All good. All good. All right, so we're really nervous about this at this point. So the thinking is the longer they
I have
go
ice
with
in
an
my veins,
inquiry.
Dan.
I'm nervous.
I like it. You
Don't
are-
zoom in
you
on the
are very-
pits.
You are very nervous in general. Is this unsafe? What we're doing right now? Is this
Well, we're
perilous?
indoors.
We're
I
inside,
think if
so
you're
it's safe?
indoors, you're generally 90% safer than you are when you're outdoors.
Okay.
So, all right, we are still waiting for this. The
I will tell you, in my day job as the
result stands. All right, result stands.
Huzzah.
Result stands.
there is nothing quite like the leave your body fear that when I call a photo and then they hang the photo sign for a really long time at parks. Those are the longest 30 seconds of my life. There was one a few weeks ago where I just stood there just sweating, just abjectly terrified.
So it is possible to rattle you a
That
little
one
bit.
that rattles me. The photo sign at parks rattles me.
So it's going to go official here. They are not going to DQ Dream Shake, thankfully.
I'm going to have a really fun shopping trip while I'm here.
Yeah, you've really had a good week. I mean, we just started, but for people who are just tuning in, Jessica hit Dream Shake here. She has hit other winners. She hit a 10-1, 11-1
to 1.
yesterday, and then gave me I think a 9-1 shot.
That ran
finished second earlier.
That was a tough beat.
So look, if Jessica was doing terrible, I would tell you, and we
Yes,
would
you
we would just be like, hey, we're missing it. We're just not seeing it today. Jessica's seeing it, so
People
just
seem to have
listen.
no problem telling me when I'm doing a bad job.
No, they wouldn't be that mean, would they? Bob Allen, nice superfecta, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope you bet that, Bob.
Yeah, I
Did
hope
you bet
so.
that? Let's know if you
You're
bet
smarter
that.
than all of us if you
Yeah,
did.
if you've got this super, you're going to make some money right here. All right, the race has just gone official. You're going to see it on your screen here. You're going to see the payouts momentarily. These payouts are going to be good.
Yeah.
This $2 exacta, if you bet 3-5, you got paid $278. Okay. The trifecta, $473. Not bad.
Better than a sharp stick in the eye, for sure.
And the swinger bet, now look, I would look at the swinger bet right now because it's a new bet. The pools are significantly smaller. You're not going to get the payouts that are going to be, first of all, they never pay as much as the exacta. But think about it, if you bet 3-4 in an exacta, you'd be pretty disappointed right now to get nothing back. But for just $1, you get $20 back. I don't think that's that bad for finishing first and third.
I'm not great at math, but that seems like a great ROI.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Look, and it's a little bit of a safer bet. And if you're new to the game and you just hate the feeling of losing, you want to win something, there's a little bit of security in that.
Yeah.
So
It seems like there's no safe bet, but it does seem like it stacks the deck in your favor a little bit.
yeah. So we're gonna take a look now at a shot of us. There you go. There we are. There we go. There's the screen. Oh, there's the photo finish for third. So Lucky Score finishing third and Churchtown finishing fourth. But the big race Coming up now is the plate trial. We got to see some of these horses yesterday.
We did.
Tell me about what you enjoyed about being back there. Which horses stood out to you?
I mean, my favorite part about any racetrack is getting to go see the horses up close, and I think you can learn a lot from them by seeing how they are in their home environment. So we got to go see Simcoe. We saw Philip, my dear, and Simcoe, really a very nice, big, strapping, personable horse. He's built like an absolute tank. I think he's one who, to me, looks like he's just going to get better and better as he continues to develop, gets a little more ground. He looks really live here, but Philip, my dear, boy, did he charm me.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he's not actually
for all the wrong reasons.
He is a little bit of the bad boy of the Kevin Attard barn, and every girl likes a bad boy on occasion. And he has a little bit of a quirky personality. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, I love a bad horse, and Philip, my dear, could be one of those. Really good looking, has an attitude, a little bit quirky, seems to get himself into a bit of mischief on occasion, but has some serious talent as well.
Yep. Carol, the Oaks is coming up after the plate trial, so we can put this up here for you briefly. Race 9 is next. That's the plate trial, and then the Oaks is after that. So you've got a little bit of time, but hang with us. We will have it all. We will stream the races, and we'll also give you our picks here coming up momentarily. But you mentioned Simcoe, trained by Katerina Vasilyeva. Very, very interesting story. So she came here from Russia when she was 8. And just really fell in love with horses generally, completely other world of horses, not these horses, but still horses are horses, and she really fell in love with racing. So we caught up with her, and we chatted with her for a little bit because she had a horse in the Queen's Plate last year named Ron Dor, and it's now the King's Plate, of course, but last year was the Queen's Plate. And
he's actually working towards coming back from a little setback. He bit me yesterday. I have a nice bruise from him.
Really?
Yes,
I missed that.
He was playing with my bracelets, and then took.
Let's see the bruise. Where's the bruise? Oh, I didn't even know this. You didn't even. I'd be complaining about this all day.
I know you would be.
You didn't even say anything. I would be crying all day.
I have a souvenir. And now I'm a big fan.
So Ron Dor did not run as well in the Queen's Plate, but he did well all the way up to that. So Katerina said she learned some things that have helped her with Simcoe. So let's take a listen to what she said about last year's learning experience.
We were fortunate enough last year to have a runner in the Queen's Plate, Ron Dor. That was a wonderful experience for me, something all trainers in Canada aspire to do, to have a runner in the Queen's Plate. So that was a wonderful experience, and I think I learned some things from that journey that'll help me along the way with Simcoe this year. Last year I waited between the Marine and the Queen's Plate with Ron Dor, and I think that was a bit too much time in between, and I lost a little bit of an edge with him. So this year I've decided to give Simcoe the plate trial as an in-between race between the Marine and the Queen's Plate. I'm hoping that will bode for better results for us in the plate.
So rooting for Katerina there, but a really big field, 12. Yeah, go ahead. I know you wanted to.
Well, so one other point to Katerina, and one of the interesting things that we've seen from her, from Sophia, from Mark, is the common thread of all the things that horses teach us. I love when people approach it with, the horses taught me this, and I learned this from that. She's also has her master's in, I think, biology, so just a brilliant woman who can apply a lot of different things to her training philosophies, but a wide open competitive field. Who do you land on here?
So I looked at this horse in a number of different directions. Of course, I started with pace, as always. So we're going to add the odds to the stream so you could see some of the horses there, and we could talk about what we're seeing. So right now, your favorite is the 4-horse, Stanley House, and I think deservedly so. Towers over these on speed figures. Basically, it's just making a step up here in class. But other than that, the horse's numbers, I mean, you're looking at consistent mid-80s buyer speed figures. Everyone else significantly lower. So, look, it's a straight numbers game a lot of times, and this horse is so much better than the rest that's why he's taking all that action. But from a pace perspective, the horses that jumped out to me were the 3 and the 8. We talked to Mark Casse about this briefly. The 8 is Forest Buzz, very fast horse coming out of some turf races, and the 3 horse is Cassie's. And so, Paramount Prince. This race is going to unfold in one of a couple of races. Paramount Prince is either going to get to the lead, Forest Buzz is going to get to the lead, or they're both going to battle each other, and that's not going to be good for either one of them. I actually happen to think that Forest Buzz is a little faster than Paramount Prince, and you heard Mark kind of indicate a little bit of concern about getting the distance as well, so which makes me a little less excited about the 3 Paramount Prince. I'm interested in Forest Buzz at 53-1. It's my only shot of regaining the spotlight here from you. I've got to go with the 53-1 shot that hopefully makes an impact here. But I do think he can get to the front and hang on for a piece. But logically, I think Stanley House is your horse. And then another price that I like quite a bit is the 11 horse, 27-1. Cool Kiss has run a couple of really nice races over the surface. Form is a little muddied by some less than ideal trips.
Muddy's a really nice, that's a nice descriptive word.
It's absolutely muddied. If you look at the Coronation Futurity, the horse literally hops, as soon as the gates open, the horse's legs are up in the air, and they stay up for a good 2 seconds, spots the field about 5 lanes before coming out, and still finishes up really well. I think this is the right distance. The question is, can the horse hang at this level? I think he can. 27-1, I could all but guarantee the horse is going to hit the board without any trip trouble. So if the horse doesn't get into trouble,
Guarantees, you heard that, folks.
I make guarantees sometimes.
Dan will be refunding your money.
I will absolutely do that. If the horse does not have any trip trouble, which is, it's a big if. He's in the 11 post. He's going to have to navigate a trip, and also has to not do the shenanigans inside the gate. So we'll see how that plays out. How about you?
So I am going with one more price here to go along with Philip, my dear, and that is the one Tiburon, who I'm fascinated by solely on the confidence that the Kevin Attard barn has to have to put this horse in this tough of a spot, fresh off of a maiden victory. He's a son of good magic, and they are just getting more and more valuable by the day. I love the female family on this horse out of a more than ready mare. So this is the kind of horse that I bet will be able to go on the turf at some point too. This looks like a triple threat kind of horse that can do any surface. The maiden win was really impressive. Got the stretch out in distance, which is what I think he needed. I mean, and I never mind when a horse has a bad debut effort. I'll give you a pass all day on a bad first start.
Yeah.
Not everyone's great at something when they start. Sometimes, you need a race or two. And
no idea what you're referencing.
Nothing. I have no idea either. But I'll often give a debut runner a real pass on a lackluster first start and see how they come back second time. And he came back with a vengeance. It looked like it was a very good field and did it really handily. So.
Manny Franco will be riding Tiburon. Manny Franco, here for the day, has already won a race. Definitely.
He and I are both making our trip worthwhile.
Debut, yeah. Except nobody's coming up to him and saying them how much they love them, like the way they're saying to you. So you're in a different class here. When we were at the barn of Kevin Attard, we met a gentleman named Howard Carter, who's a groom there. You could just briefly tell us about the interaction, then we'll let you hear some of it and what this race means to him.
So he has a pretty star-studded lineup of cares, and it's so interesting hearing behind the scenes the folks that get to work with these horses every day. They devote their lives 365 days a year. There are no days off. There are no holidays in horse racing, and he had a great story.
Yeah. So here's Howard telling us about some of the horses he's had in the barn and what it means to him to race in races like this one.
Horse is just, you gotta just spend your time around horses, and they love you and they know you. Time is is a big thing with the horses, and patience. Yeah, that make me happy because I spend a lot of time around my horses. A lot of time I give to them. I never in rush to. I come here early in the morning and I take my time until I finish the day. That's it, So it would be happy for me to win the Hawks or the Queen's Plate. I win at a good race with Starship, and I go to the Breeders' Cup 3 times with one of my horses, and Calvary Cat Go, and Melmich, and also Starship. So it's just a dream for winning these races and go places further.
So that was awesome to hear. And it really does mean a lot. I mean, you think about the number of people involved in each horse. You go to the backstretch and you realize, holy cow.
There's so much more. And when we look through the program, we see the horse's name and we see the trainer's name and the jockey and the owner. And some places are starting to put the groom's name in the program as well. When you can, there are often some complications with that, in practicality in every instance. But it's a lovely opportunity to give them a moment in the spotlight too.
So am I seeing that Ellis also had
alike,
Dream
yeah.
Shake? Oh my God, Ellis! All right, Ellis.
Star.
Ellis will be coming up for the King's Plate with us here. We will be streaming live King's Plate, Mile Day, Summer and Atalma Stakes here. Woodbine Mile. We've got the E.P. Taylor Canadian International Day. I mean, lots of stuff. We'll be here all season.
Can I just invite myself back for Woodbine Mile Day?
So now, I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm like, what is she doing these days? We got to get her back up here. Like, this is your spot. This is absolutely your spot.
I may never leave. Canada has been wonderful to me.
What time is the Oaks is the question here.
That's a great question.
So the Oaks is race 10. Is it up there?
Approximately 6 p.m.
6 p.m. All right. So we've got a little bit of time, 45 minutes. In the meantime, great betting race here, of course, in the plate trial. A very meaningful race here, an important race when it comes to the 3-year-old picture here, leading up to the first leg of the Canadian Triple Crown. Let's see what we got here. Simcoe for Katarina could be dangerous. Second time against stakes horses. Raffy riding very well right now.
Thanks, SPN.
I don't know who this gentleman is. No, I do. I'm just kidding. That's my dad. Hey!
Hi, Dan's dad.
Oh, this is good. We're getting the full detail. I was at the beach. Thank you. We needed
Awesome.
that. This is good. This is like text messaging
This
here.
is great.
He's telling me who he's with.
This is beautiful.
I don't know that he's aware of the fact that everyone else in the world can see this right now.
I think that's fantastic.
Yeah,
what's
hi,
he
Jan, Louise,
going
and
to
Karen.
text next?
This is unbelievable. Hey, Dad.
That's
Wire some
we do
money,
occasionally
please.
get some weird text messages, don't we?
This is wild. So, no, my dad is. So we have a good history with these shows. Earlier in the year, we were at the Pegasus World Cup, and my dad was dropping in the comments. He ends up hitting the Super for like $6,000. So
Dinner was on him.
Hopefully this time he can give us the superfecta in either the plate trial or the Woodbine Oaks coming up. So yeah, dinner was absolutely on him. So you're seeing the field now walking around for the plate trial. I want to get a bet in, but I want to bet with cash. Are you getting a bet in right now?
I am a TVG sort of gal, so I'm betting on my TVG.
Oh, man. Alex, can you bet for me, or are you working?
Do you want me to? I don't like you. If
No.
You can leave. You can leave me alone.
Yeah, let me see if Jan...
Leave me unsupervised.
But no, don't leave me here. Well, yeah, this is not going to carry. Should I give my money to somebody?
Just some stranger, yeah. Just get...
Let me just see who I can find. All right, who seems friendly?
I mean,
how's it going? Can you make a bet for me? Just go to the window? All right, make a bet. I'm going to do, hold on. Let's do exacta. $5 exacta box. What, less?
Write it down.
I'll write it down for you. Okay, here we go. No, it's too complicated, I know. All right, $5 exacta. Give me 4, 8, 11. All right, should be 30, okay? Thank you. What's your name? Jose. I'm Dan. Thank you. Let's go. 5, 8, 11. Good? 4, 8, 11. 4, 8, 11. That's box, huh? Box. 4, 8, 11. And put $10, something random. $5 exacta.
This also is just proving to me that Canada is an entirely different place, because I don't know if you'd be getting your money back, your tickets back, if we did this at most other racetracks.
I wouldn't do this at certain tracks that I won't name, but everyone's trustworthy here. I may never see that guy again.
You sweet summer child.
And I was so excited. I gave him the wrong number initially too, but luckily he said 5. So like, what do you mean 5?
What? This is like Disneyland here. This is the happiest place on earth.
So, all right, so you know my bet now. I'm doing an exacta 4, 8, 11. I'm boxing those 3. So again, for the newbies, 4, 8, 11 means if 4, 8, 8, 4, 4, 11, 11, 4, or 8, 11, 11, 8 come in any order, I win. And the only reason I'm doing that, I would normally kind of narrow it down to just the 2 horses that I like. I add an extra horse because I like long shots here, and I think the 8 at 59-1 has a shot. I think the 11 at 22-1 has a shot. But one of them might not show up at all. And so, I think Stanley House is all but guaranteed to finish first or second. And so with that in mind, I got the exacta with Stanley House and the 8 and the 11 at big prices. Jessica, I just see you punching in your tickets right here, or at least trying to. You just got an error. I see the 1, Tib, you're on. You're really all about that one, huh?
I do. I like him. I think he's a little bit interesting, and I think it's a bold move, making this horse, stepping this horse up to these kind of winners. First off, the maiden win, and then I'm going with the bad boy, Philip, my dear, in the exacta, and I'll put Simcoe at the lower side of my tickets as well.
Man, one morning with Kevin Attard, and you are just all about the. Kevin Attard
wait till we see what we talk about in the Oaks. I'm easily swayed.
Let's do a quick odds update for folks watching now from home. Tiburon, the one horse, was 12 to 1 in the morning line, now 6 to 1. So people
I put a large bet on him.
agree. Oh, you just bumped it down. The
That was
horse
me,
was just 8
yeah.
to 1. So now 6 to 1. Great name on the two horse, Guns and Rojas.
That is good. That's
41
excellent.
to 1. The 3 Paramount Prince, if you think that one could sneak away on the front end. 8 to 1 in the morning line, now 11 to 1. Stanley House taking all the money, even money right now. The 5 horse Velociter, 35 to 1. I didn't think the horse was without a chance. Justin Stein has been up for some of his better races. Now 35 to 1 on Velocitor. The 6 horse Twin City, another one who's had some excuses. Finished first and second in every single race with the exception of his last race. You're getting 10 to 1 on the horse. The horse is as consistent as they come. You're literally talking one bad race with the number 6 Twin City. Simon Stewart.
To be fair, that one big
Thank
race-
you so much, my man.
Thank you.
Wait, come back. No, come. I want you to do a bet for us. Oh, it's easy. I'm done with you guys, all right? He's like, I'm done with you. I was going to tell him to pick a horse for $10 and we'll split it, but no, he's like, whatever. He's like, I'm done.
He is done with us.
He did it. 411.
Canada.
I love these people. I love the folks here at the track, and when they go nuts for this race, that's what gets my blood going. I love it. I love when everyone goes nuts.
I love being
at the racetrack.
like around this kind of racing fan. Like these are our people, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely our people.
So you were
odds.
talking about Twin City.
Twin City's an interesting horse.
Yeah, but to be fair, that like one poor race really came when it counted.
Well, I mean, this race sort of counts too, so maybe, but there were a couple others. There's the King Corey, right? Posted an 81 buyer, won there. And then the Coronation Futurity was another nice race. Again, on figures, a touch below. But look, a horse you can pick up a piece, especially if the pace gets hot. I think Twin City, 10 to 1, 11 to 1, not bad at all. So Pat's Gamble, the 7 horse, 39 to 1. The 8 Forest Buzz, we've talked about now, 70 to 1. Forest Buzz is going to give me a little thrill.
I mean,
at
to
least.
be fair, I said it was bold running a horse fresh off their maiden win against this company, and there's Kevin Attard with a maiden that hasn't hit the board from 2 starts running here. So also a equally bold move.
I wonder what's up with that, right? Like, why do you put this horse in
When you have others that are in this race, and he was in for an optional claiming tag as well.
Yeah. Really, I don't know. Forest Buzz 72 to 1, 9 Philip My Dear 7 to 2 now. Clear cut second choice. The 10 Grand Spirited Long Shot 72 to 1. The 11 Cool Kiss 24 to 1. I really like that horse for a piece. The 12 Simcoe, who we talked about earlier, now 9 to 1. We'll give you the last word, and then we'll cut to the track audio. Anything else you want to add?
I mean, I think this is a really competitive plate trial coming up for the King's Plate.
King's
tickets
Plate.
are on sale today, I believe.
Tickets are on sale. So get them if you don't have them yet.
And if you haven't been out to Woodbine, make a point to get out here. This is just a spectacular place.
It's really not bad. We kind of figured out, like, your commute to Parks is 2 times, or at least 2.5 times the length that it takes to fly here.
Yeah, I could drive this easily.
Or drive. Or you could
Easy drive.
So no excuse not to see you here more often. And I know we will. Okay, there's my horse now. Really just saying, you know what? We're going to stress out Dan here. We're not going to go in the gate for him. So still waiting on that one to get in. That's it. We're down to the last couple of horses.
And to the wonderful Robert Geller.
And Robert Geller. So I'm 4-8-11. You're 1.
I am
1-9.
1-9-12.
1-9-12. Okay. All right. Playing at home. Good luck.
The last along, Simcoe. Moves up, stand by for a start. There, all in, locked up. Off they race in the plate trial to a tremendous start. And one of the best away deep on the track is Grand Spirited. Away nicely is stablemate Paramount Prince, and coming through for the lead is Forest Buzz. On the pace in fourth, Velocitor from Twin City. Caught a bit wide, Simcoe going up to be in the top flight. And then Philip My Dear. On the inside, making ground is Tiburon as they take the turn. In behind them, Pat's Gamble, Guns and Rojas on the inside. And back second last, Cool Kiss. And Stanley House, the race favorite, is absolute last. So racing to the lead by about a length and a half. Paramount Prince got in front of Forest Buzz settling second. Back third now, Velocitor with the run of the race. A half to Grand Spirited, followed by Twin City and Simcoe. A length away, Philip My Dear and Tiburon. They're pretty much in pairs. Caught a bit wide here, Cool Kiss around Pat's Gamble. Guns and Rojas on the inside. And Stanley House, in contrast to that last start effort, is now from the back, ridden in a completely different style here. Paramount Prince in front and shows the way in the plate trail by a length to Forest Buzz. 1.5 Velocitor, Grand Spirited is fourth. One away, Simcoe, Twin City on the inside. A length and a half to Philip My Dear. Tiburon pushing up on the inside, and 3 wide, Cool Kiss. Now Stanley House taken to the outside, is starting to wind up and is coming 3 wide and takes off Stanley House from the back. Pat's Gamble second last, and Guns and Rojas at the back. Out in front, Paramount Prince by a half a length to Forest Buzz. Simcoe's Satellite coming up 3 wide. And finishing well is Cool Kiss around the outside of Grand Spirit. Velocitor still there. Stanley House made a run, has dropped behind again. And Forest Buzz joining Paramount Prince. And then Simcoe, Velocitor, Cool Kiss, and Philip My Dear starting to run on. Paramount Prince dashed right away. And it is Patrick Husbands. And Paramount Prince has absolutely blitzed them. Paramount Prince, head on the chest, has absolutely canted in to win the plate trial by 4.5 lengths to Cool Kiss, and Twin City got third.
All right, so I am hating myself right now. I basically took the wrong speed horse on top, and my 30, well, now 18 to 1 shot on the 11 finished second. So.
Well, and what did Mark Casse tell us? That he gives Patrick Husbands no instructions.
Yep.
They've won, several thousand races together and added another big one to that win here.
Yeah, that is the Paramount Prince ride was exactly the ride and trip that I thought I would get with Forest Buzz. But anyway, when you have 2 speed horses in a race, and they're the only horses who could possibly go to the lead, it's often worth it to look at which one of them is most likely to get to the lead. Here, I made the first right move. I made the wrong move in going with the 8 over the 3. This exact is going to pay really well, 311. And Twin City at 16 to 1. I feel like I talked about these horses a little bit.
You did. You did. You did. You absolutely did talk. I mean, this actually must be a frustrating race for you because you saw it really well and just missed the pieces.
Yep. If that's the 8 instead of the 3 there at first, it's all there. But that's horse racing.
That is horse racing. Luckily, we have another big one coming up. This was a great preview for the King's Plate, and I think there are a couple of horses coming out of this race that we can look to if they do go on to the King's Plate with some big chances.
Yep. Yeah, look, that was impressive there. Not often you're going to get a pace like that, loose on the lead, and in a prep like this, in a big field, too, 12-horse field.
Well, and for me, Paramount Prince becomes a short price bet against in the King's Plate because you can't think that anyone riding in that race lets him get away like that again. Yep. And he struck me as the kind of horse that got really emboldened out there. Once he relaxed, he got to conserve a lot of energy.
Yep, absolutely. So, and I don't know what the excuse is for Stanley House, the 4-horse at even money. Look, you had to be near the front, obviously. I didn't see exactly where Cool Kiss closed from, but Stanley House, really, I never entered the picture for me. I didn't see him at all, so I don't know what happened there. And I mean, talk about a superfecta. If you've got this for 20 cents, you're probably taking down $4,000 or $5,000, I would think. Woo. I mean, who has this superfecta? Anybody out there watching have the superfecta?
I hope someone does.
So, all right, we got somebody watching from Mauritius. How about that? How about that?
My geography is not very good, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah, send us a map.
Did make a friend, JD.
I made a friend and then I think an enemy by the end of it. But we started as friends.
A tale as old as time.
There's Chino, Gonzalo Angelis.
Thank you.
Hello.
Chino, nice to see you.
And SPN nailing it.
No fans like SPN.
Yep, that's true. That's true. All right, we're going to look forward to seeing that payout here. Paramount Prince wins the plate trial. And then just like that, we'll be on to the Woodbine Oaks here in a few minutes. We are supposed to have a couple of guests joining us here, but it's a crazy busy day, so they might not show up, and it might just be us, which I'm cool about. When it comes
I think people are probably tired of our faces by this point.
No, that's not possible, is it?
I don't know. I possibly.
Every year here at Woodbine, they award essentially like a lifetime achievement award to a jockey called the Avelino Gomez Award. And this year, the winner of the Avelino Gomez Award was none other than racing legend Russell Bays. I think he's still the all-time wins leader in North America for wins, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so. That's such a gaudy number. I can't imagine anyone ever hitting that.
Yeah, it's massive. I think he's still, that record is secure for quite a while. So there's a shot of Russell Bays. And Russell Bays, in accepting the award earlier today, sent in a little bit of a speech. So let's take a listen to that.
Hi, I'm Russell Bays, and I'm honored to be receiving the Avelino Gomez Memorial Award. A couple of things about me. I was truly blessed to be able to ride for 42 years and walk away with no serious injuries. After retiring and moving to Arizona with my beautiful wife Tammy, I wanted to do something to be of service. So I volunteered and joined the Pinal County Sheriff's Office Search and Rescue Team. Frequently we get to hike into the Superstition Mountains and rescue people who are lost or injured, and it's really exciting and I love doing it. We're currently in our third week of well over 100-degree temperatures here in Arizona. Luckily for us, it's a dry heat, a really hot, dry heat. That means Tammy and I get up real early in the morning to ride our two good quarter horses on the desert trails around our house. I want to thank the committee for choosing me to be this year's recipient, and I hope you all are enjoying yourselves and having a wonderful evening. Thank you so much.
So congrats to Russell Muscle there, and congrats to anyone who hit this race.
Wow.
These are some payouts. Good luck finding these, betting on sports or doing anything else. $2 exacta, $322. Dollar trifecta, $1,964. Very hittable try. Had I been a little more focused.
Some of your selections could have hit the swing wager.
Swinger, I could have done the swinger, right? 11-6 I liked. I get the 11-6 swinger, $70 for $1. You bet that for $10, you get $700 for being wrong. How great is that?
What a way to sell it. I love it.
How do you not bet the swinger? So $700 for being absolutely wrong and missing Paramount Prince. If you miss Paramount Prince, which I feel like we could have had. Yeah, I'm a little bitter. I'm a little bitter, a little angry. But I'm going to try to pull it together for the remainder of the show because we still have one race coming up, a big race coming up. Speaking of big races, Jessica, the King's Plate, the 164th running, and of course, the King's Plate again after being the Queen's Plate for so long. Sunday, August 20th, we'll be here. Tickets on sale now, as you mentioned. That day as well, there is a Breeders' Cup betting challenge tournament. King's Plate Day, online only. It's $1,000 buy-in. Registration opens the middle of that week on August 16th. So if you want to get in on the Breeders' Cup betting challenge on King's Plate Day, still hard to say that, August 16th. Woodbine Mile Day, more handicapping contests if you want to get on that, online and on site here at Woodbine, $1,000 buy-in again. And then there's going to be more, of course, for Canadian International / EP Taylor Day. The winners will earn a seat at the Breeders' Cup betting challenge at the Breeders' Cup this year, which is coming up. That's right around the corner.
It's one of the most fun. The Breeders' Cup is amazing, but that's a really fun component of it. Being in that room full of that atmosphere and energy is crazy.
Oh yeah, I love it out there. I really do. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't played, here's an opportunity to get in. Betting Woodbine, especially Woodbine is your specialty. Those are a couple of big opportunities. Also here on site the other night when I got in, you know what I did, right? The first thing I did was...
You went and contributed more of your money.
To the casino, because they now have a massive, well, they had a good casino. Now it's just a massive, ridiculously awesome casino. The Great Canadian Casino Resort, Toronto's newest destination for world-class gaming. So that's now open here. There's 24-hour, 24-hour casino, and you can literally bet anything you like. I like blackjack. I like poker. I know you're a big slot machine person. You're not. Right?
I like horses
She likes
mostly, but there is something for everyone.
Yep.
You can find a lot of different ways to win.
Yep. And they've also got a 400-room luxury hotel coming here in the coming weeks. There's so much going on at Woodbine. If you haven't been here before, now is the time to come. King's Plate, I think, would be the ultimate time because a lot of this stuff will be here just in time for King's Plate.
And it's before summer's over, so come enjoy Toronto with while summer's still here, and take in the city a little bit as well while you're here. Go downtown. The waterfront was a beautiful run.
Yeah, try to stay inside. Stay indoors as much as possible. Do not injure yourself. Injuries are not good.
So Dan, fun story we could tell people as we have a little time to kill about the time I made you climb a mountain in Arizona.
Well, you tell that story. I blocked it from my memory.
Dan was very brave when we were at the Racetrack Industry Symposium this past winter. I insisted that he and another friend of ours get up really early to go for a hike in the foothills, and you would have thought by poor Dan's reaction to this that I was asking him to climb Kilimanjaro, but you were a real trooper. You persevered.
Look, it was super dangerous.
He
but,
fought off a rattlesnake with his bare hands.
I had to do it. But yeah, no, it's, look, I need people like you in my life because otherwise I would always stay inside. I'd stay drinking Stella all day long, and that's not good probably.
I mean, the Stella's good.
Yeah, but just that for health reasons, staying inside, not moving.
A couple steps outside, taking some sunlight is good for you.
Tell you what, long day at the track, you just lost a bet. Nothing better than a sip of Stella.
Ooh, that's good. It's like we do this for a living. That's good.
Oh, man. All right. I want to show you some more odds because I want to make some money. These are the payouts still for the plate trial. You're going to see a replay of the plate trial coming up. But Woodbine Oaks, the $500,000 Woodbine Oaks coming up here. Massive field, 14 horses, a couple of interesting horses shipping in. You've got, for Chad Brown, the 2-horse Big Brass Bed. I would imagine once they flash the numbers here, you'll see is the favorite. And yes, here you go, 5-2 right now on the 2-horse Big Brass Bed. The other one, obviously, who's going to take money is the one we talked about with Mark. That's the 11 Ticker Tape Home, off of a 4-length win in the Fury Stakes. Before we jump into everything, I want to show that Fury Stakes. And keep an eye on the horse who finishes second in the Fury Stakes, because that's ultimately going to be the horse that I like, and I'll make a little bit of case for.
And Courtly Rowe, but he's been playing with them. Patrick Husbands on Ticker Tape Home and has raced right away, and this looks over. Gosh, Ticker Tape Home has been in first gear the whole way. Leads by about 3 or 4 lengths. In second placing down the centre, Elysian Field and Me and My Shadow. They come to the final furlong, and Ticker Tape Home is 4 lengths in front. In second placing, Elysian Field and the other Mark Casse runner, Me and My Shadow. But this was a track gallop, and Ticker Tape Home never really tested. What an easy win. Ticker Tape Home is home.
So Ticker Tape Home there, you saw doing something. It's like sort of deja vu. We just saw it a moment ago, right, with Paramount Prince. Got to the lead, and she just drew off there. I like the horse who finished second, Elysian Field. This is a horse who was second off the layoff there, 7 furlongs, had no pace to run into, had to make an early move, and I really love the way she finished up. She jumped 10 points, her Beyer speed from 67 to 77 from her maiden win, which was a 3+ length win her race before, to that finish, second place finish. If she gets any pace at all, stretching out, I love Elysian Field here, currently 12-1. Take all my money. I'm going to try to find that guy again and just give him whatever's left in my pocket to bet on Elysian Field.
You should. You should probably just give him everything in your pocket for putting up with us. I think this race is so competitive.
Yeah.
A lot of different ways we can look here. I became a big fan of a filly yesterday when we were visiting the Kevin Attard barn. Wickenheiser is exactly my kind of filly. She's a big daughter of Lemon Drop Kid, and I was at first really struck by what a big physical presence she is. And I think she certainly has proven that she can hold her own against the boys. She ran behind
Look
Simcoe
at you right there.
last
Look
time
out
out. Yep,
there. You're just taking photos.
Just, I was up at 3 a.m. and just happy to be in a barn with a pony, really. And funny enough, she's a horse that can be a little bit spicy, and she and I got along very well, which is probably more of an indictment of me than anything else. But a big daughter of Lemon Drop Kid ran against male rivals last time out, and I think these big-bodied, like kind of physical, intimidating sort of fillies can really do their best against the boys. Because horses do communicate with body language kind of to each other and to us if we're listening loud enough. And they can kind of intimidate the boys a bit. But Wickenheiser, I think, has a big chance here. She's one that looks like she's just getting better and better as she grows into that big body of hers.
We're going to watch a replay now. This is the Princess Elizabeth Stakes. Wickenheiser finishes fourth in this race. Two other horses in this race, Mind My Shadow, who's the 14, Me and My Shadow, the 6 in this race, but the 14 in the Oaks. Nice finish here from that one. And then you also have 4570, who finishes third here, who comes back and is running in the Oaks as well as the 8-horse 4570. So a couple of big finishes there. That was an interesting race. Again, one of those where didn't necessarily, I think, set up for any of those horses, but Wickenheiser covered the most ground in that race. That's the reason I was initially drawn to her. And then I can't miss the fact she was in the Natalmo. That's a great one. A lot of these horses have never even sniffed that kind of competition. And she ran a very respectable race there.
Against a horse who I think super highly of, G. Laurie,
who
wound up third in that spot. But I think I thought really highly of that.
Exactly. No, I like where you're at there with Wickenheiser. Currently 5-1, so taking a little money off.
Including my money.
Including your money off the morning line there. Beautiful. All right, so we're going to come back to this race in a moment. What I'd like to do now, we're going to have to get his attention first. Sir. Yeah, come on in. We got a special guest here.
A big guest
to get us caught up.
Welcome to Toronto, Jessica.
It has been wonderful.
Yes, tell me. Well, I heard you saw Wickenheiser. I saw the picture on Twitter. That's so cool.
I loved her.
You went for a jog.
I went for a little 10-mile or 16-kilometer run, I believe.
The jog heard around the world.
I tried to put it into the proper distance here. It was
Yes.
great. Toronto's beautiful. The city has been wonderful.
Oh my
People have
gosh.
been amazing. Now the question for you, I think you've
Yes.
seen the movie I'm dying to see.
Oh my God, Barbie is like, we're living in a Barbie world. It's a Barbie world. We're just living in it. Dan, let me say hi. It's been so long. Thank you for having me back. I love you so much.
No, I
and
love you too.
I love
bro.
what you do for the sport. So thank you.
Now, Will, I love following you on social media. You are. I've always thought of you as kind of one of the hearts of Woodbine,
thank
and
you.
you bring such a heart to it. What do you love best about it here?
I grew up here. Like, I've been coming to the races. My dad just passed away a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I'm
and
so sorry.
Thank you. And he would want me to be here today. This is me, my mom, my dad. I grew up at the racetrack. We used to come every weekend. I had a very abnormal childhood when you look back at it, but I'm so glad I wouldn't have had it any other way. Growing up at Woodbine, coming every Saturday, Sunday, winning my first $2 bet. Hope nobody heard that. Just seeing the generations of horses and seeing their children run. Like today, we've got the favorite ticker tape home. She's from a True Blue Canadian outfit, Samson Farms. They are the reason why I love the sport so much. I grew up watching Samson Farm horses. Iconic. I cheered from Dance Smartly, Bluefin Regal Classic, Wilderness Song.
To me, those silks are synonymous with greatness in our sport.
Yeah, forget like Saturday morning cartoons. Those were my heroes growing up, those horses. And to see her today, she has a soft spot in my heart. I'm really rooting for Samson Farms, even though they're sort of exiting the sport. Hoping they have that one last hurrah. They deserve it. They've done so much for the industry.
And so much for the breed.
Sure.
Breeding the, just quality animals that have kind of gone on to continue to create more quality animals.
Yes. Who do you guys like? I'm sorry, I've been running around. You see I'm all wet. I got soaked. It seems like every big race day this year at Woodbine, I've been soaked. And I think Queen's Plate, we'll watch. We'll get a few weekends of great weather. Queen's Plate's going to be a literal rinse and repeat. I'm going to get soaked again.
It looks good on you.
Okay, well, I'll take it. Yes, of course.
We have like automatic drying cameras, so they dry you. You look completely dry. You don't look soaked. You look
dry
great.
cam.
Glistening. It's just it's a glisten.
Super dry, right? Super dry cam. So let's just talk about the favorite briefly. Big Brass Bed. You said, who do we like? This is the horse that most people like. last out at Belmont, finished fourth in a pretty salty allowance race. No pace in that race, and the horse closed from way off of it to finish fourth, beaten less than 2 lanes. But the race I'm about to show you, we'll take a listen to the call as well, the stretch run, is the reason, that this horse first arrived on most people's radar.
But here comes Big Brass Bed, who's looming up on the outside as they reach the top of the lane. La Pachanga has taken the lead. What's Good is back to second, but Big Brass Bed is now in full gear. Here comes Big Brass Bed, and now Big Brass Bed is a length and a half clear. Inside the 16th pole, it's Big Brass Bed. La Pachanga, also Gurley the Butcher. Big Brass Bed gets the win.
All right, so what do we think?
I think Big Brass Bed's one that, I think is going to take a lot of money, and
Not a fan. There's Big Brass Bed. He can hear you, or she can hear you rather. She can hear you.
Oh, and she is a chestnut mare, so we don't. I mean, we want to show the respect that that she deserves. I mean, her record's been great. Been great. It's tough to find fault. That performance was good. I just think there are more interesting horses at bigger prices, and a little bit of a home track advantage too.
Yeah.
Okay.
5-2. I don't know, man. That's kind of like. You have stakes winners in this race, who have accomplished so much, and to come off like a maiden score and just come in, that's asking a lot.
Is that just Chad flexing, you think? I'm just going to throw an allowance, or I'm going to send an allowance horse up there. My allowance, fourth place finishers could win.
You can only have so many horses
in
the graded stakes in New York at this point, right? He can't have like 7 of them.
No, you can't win them all, Chad.
You have to find a different spot for some of them. I am a little skeptical of that Monmouth race. I think some of Monmouth's maiden races maybe have been coming up a little dicey this spring.
Yeah. I'm looking at the comments here real quick. JD Fox has got to rub it in. Of course, he's rubbing. He hammered the 3 to win. He said in the last race. But JD also gave me a tip on a horse earlier. This is an interesting one, and Will, I'd be interested in your opinion here because we've only seen her run once. Delphia won a maiden special weight race here last month.
Monique was very impressed by this horse.
I like her.
She's the 5 horse here. What do you think?
Yeah.
7 to 1 right now.
I'm a fan of, repeats. I mean, Kevin Attar took this with Moira last year. He knows how to win the race. I love a good dark horse. I love me a dark horse, and I don't know much about her, and there's so much mystery surrounding her. I'm very intrigued, and I'm expecting a big run.
It's Kevin again going for the 3-peat.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll see what happens there. But thank you, JD, for rubbing that in. I really appreciate that. Sorry, I was a little distracted. I was like, you.
Getting trolled by JD. We like it.
Oh, SPN. Will Wong is in the house. He is.
Hey, SPN.
He's coming up. He's coming up for. I think
you
he's
two
coming
have
up
met,
plate, right?
You and SPN.
Oh, I love SPN.
Because I feel like you guys are two sides of the same coin.
Oh, for sure. He's such a great ambassador for Woodbine, and it sucks because I know he grew up around horse racing. He grew up in Boston, Massachusetts. He had a track. Now his home track is Saratoga. So I'll be seeing him actually in a few weeks. I'm heading down for the Whitney. So excited! Can't wait to get what's that shake called? That Shake
Shack.
Yeah, there's that one exclusive shake that Saratoga, muddy,
the exact shake name.
Sloppy track. Sign me up.
See, we come here for the Timmies. You're going down for Shake Shack?
A fair trade.
Come on.
That is a fair trade, I think. I really enjoyed my first Tim Hortons coffee. It was great.
What did you get?
So my coffee drink is I just get iced coffee with oat milk. If it's cold outside, I get a cappuccino with oat milk. I'm very boring. I just need all the caffeine.
That is not boring at all. I love that. I love that. Very good. I would get something similar. Maybe a little bit of milk in it, though. I need my dairy. So.
Yeah. Will, before you go, and we're not trying to let you go just yet, but before you go, just remind me, I'm going to give you cash. You got to go make a bet for me because I gave my money to another gentleman a few moments ago.
I
don't think he's coming back to make more bets for me.
All right. Okay. I got you, Dan.
All right. I think I'm going to do 50 win place on the 3 at 12 to 1.
Sure.
We'll do that. What do you think? Is that a smart play?
I like that.
Go big. I like it. Well, this is your get out. Get out.
Okay, so 50-win place. Okay,
we're
got
it. 50-win plays.
Okay.
If I don't see you again.
Right.
I did enjoy our friendship.
Oh, I got you. Don't worry. I wouldn't run away. I might take a little commission there, but you know, you'll get most of it back. I swear.
If it hits, you definitely get some commission. We spoke to Mark Casse earlier, and he was telling us why Woodbine is so great, and you kind of gave us a glimpse into some of that. For people who haven't visited, Jessica's already made the case from a first-timer's perspective. But for you, what's your pitch? What's your pitch to people who haven't been here yet?
It's about betting is one thing for me. Who doesn't love to win money? But it's about the community. I love the people and the passion they have for the horses. It's the bloodlines. It's the community. It's the care that these people, the love that these people have for the animals. That's what keeps me coming back, and that's what it'll always be for me.
And that's one of the things that I've really found here with Woodbine. It feels like a small track family with all the glitz of a big, beautiful track, and it's the combination of both that's just been amazing.
Yeah,
so lucky.
Absolutely. It is. I love it here from the first time I was here. I've loved it. And then thanks to our incredible rep right here, who doesn't want her name mentioned, Lindsay Bax.
The best.
It's been just elevated.
And we are like herding cats, and she has kept us on track all weekend.
Yeah. So thank you to Lindsay for dealing with us.
You're the best, Lindsay.
And helping our guys at the border, like Greg Jarkuni and Alex Probst.
Thanks to our guys on the
border
desk here who are helping put the show on for us.
For literally
making us look better than we are.
Keeping us on. All right, before we let you go, real quick, I know Jessica wanted to ask you about the Barbie movie. So
yeah, was it great?
Okay, it's not for kids, so don't bring your toddlers expecting it to be the best family adventure ever. It's got a meaningful message about feminism. It's very ingratiating for men to watch because men will be humbled by watching this film.
Lovely.
Beautifully acted, beautifully directed. Oh my God, the set is so cool. I've never seen anything like that. Everything's set around a Barbie, a life-size Barbie dream house. The cast is incredible. So many cameos. Dua Lipa's in it. Margot Robbie. Ryan Gosling is and he's Canadian. You know what? A fun fact: all the Kens in this movie are Canadian.
Really?
So Warner Brothers, they're distributors of the movie. We had a premiere event for the film. We called it "Welcome to Canada," not Canada,
I
Canada.
like it. Yeah.
Isn't that so cool?
That's good.
And it worked out perfectly. All our Kens are Canadian, and so proud that we have a Canadian association with what is the biggest opening ever for a female director in history.
I am so excited to see it when I get home and go on the parks break next week. So
amazing. Let's trade notes.
I can't wait.
Send me your review.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Wait, we're going to see you again. We need those things.
Right.
You're not
about that.
Okay, yeah. What do you mean? Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
This ain't over.
I got you, Dan. Don't worry.
I'll see you in about 2.5.
Good luck with this bet.
Open window right there.
Yes. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Will. All right, we'll walk. Number 3, we'll do 50 win plays. Thank you.
I am channeling big Barbie energy for Pennsylvania Derby Day. It's my Pennsylvania Derby dress is full on, Barbie calls the races.
Well, this, by the way, this outfit that you're wearing today, spectacular. If you want to get
right back at you,
various views.
I just had to keep up with you.
Yeah, well, check Jessica out on Twitter if you really want to get. Because the detail on this dress is what really makes it. So
this was the perfect day to bring it out. I've been very excited to wear this, and this was the day that was worthy of it.
Well, we're excited that you chose today for this. Greg, what I want to do is, the feed. Do you still have that feed, the track feed? Let's go to the track feed in real time and kind of pull that up. This way, we can look at. The horses on the track right now. There's Friends for Life. I'm just going to go through a couple of these. We could talk about them. If you obviously feel free to jump in wherever you feel. There's a horse worth acknowledging. Fashionably Fab, also there for Kevin Attard. One of the horses with speed in this race. I thought there was a decent amount of speed. 45.70 as well. Just off the pace right there. And then there's Tito's Calling. I think another sort of low-key horse there who could factor.
I think that one's interesting if you're looking for a horse maybe at a little bit of a price to get a piece of it, lower end of your exotics. That was one that kind of made my initial top flight. So when I handicap races, I go horse by horse and write my initial note, my initial first impressions. Those are usually not fit for the public because sometimes...
Hey,
another
got it. Thank you, Will.
Another faithful Canadian here.
There's Ticker Tape Home. Collect Dat. Interestingly, Dat? Oh, there we go. Now we're taking a picture.
There's a lot going on here right now. There's a lot.
Hey.
Okay, we're good. I'll leave you guys alone. Good luck.
Bye.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you for popping in. DAT are my initials, DAT. So interesting, but not relevant. What is relevant is the fact that Adam.
Oh.
I don't look like an Adam, I know.
You definitely do not.
Collect Dat is one of the 4 horses in this race who I think have speed. You heard Mark Casse say there's a good bit of speed here. He's a little afraid that Ticker Tape Home may get pressed by other horses. That one is just to her outside. So,
but again, we saw Patrick Husbands with another one of these big, front-running strategic rides, and we know Mark's not giving him any instructions.
Yeah, no, 100%. Look, I think the horse is in good hands. You're getting some big prices here. If you can get past the Chad Brown horse we mentioned, the 2 Big Breast Bed, and if you could get past number 11, you're looking at some big prices here. I mean, even 9-2 on Wickenizer might be the real deal, and if she is, 9-2 feels pretty fair. Me and My Shadow at 9-1 on the far outside. That horse has run some really nice races. Ran in the Schuylerville last year. Finished 4th in the Schuylerville. Has been in against tougher. Has had excuses in her losses. She's not totally out of it. So, look, I kept it simple here with the win bet on and the win place bet on number 3, Elysian Field. But there's so much value to be found, I think, potentially, because I don't love the 11, and I'm kind of a little lukewarm on the 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I don't really love the 2 at all. I think there's just much more value to be had. I'm going $50 to win on Wickenheiser, and then I'm using her with number 14, Me and My Shadow, in a $5 exacta box. That noise just entirely threw me off. That was a lot of noise.
What was that?
The hamster fell off the wheel entirely for a second there.
Let us know what you're betting at home. SPN's got 20 across on Wickenheiser, so good luck, Sean.
Great minds think alike there.
Absolutely. You got here 7 in a tri-key box, so what that means, if you're just watching, is that 7 has to finish in the top 3, and then whatever horse you take with the 7 can come out in those other 2 positions, top 3. So, and again, with the odds of the 7, let me see. Can we pull that back up? Can we be side by side with this? Is that possible? Can we not be side by side? Okay, we can't be side by side. All right, so the 7 though is 14-1, and so nice horse to key here. My only concern with Fashionably Fab, the 7, is the other speed in the race. So we'll see how that plays out. Kevin Attard, again, that's one of his 4 horses in this race. Let's hear from Kevin real quick about winning this race already the past couple of years and what it would mean to win it again.
Luckily, we've been fortunate enough to win the last 2 runnings. We're going for a sort of, I guess, a 3-peat natural hat trick. I'm not sure if that's been done before yet or not, but obviously I think it'd be a pretty cool story to kind of add to the resume. And we've got 4 chances. I think it's a very wide open affair, and I like the way all 4 of my horses are coming into the race. They've trained really well into it, and with a little luck, I think we have a chance to maybe upset the apple cart a bit.
So there's Kevin again vying for the 3-peat, and we're getting close. We're getting close here. Just about a minute or so. It says 0 minutes, but about a minute or so here before this race goes off.
Yeah, it looks like there's about a minute or so.
All right, so I think we know where we stand. You're Team Wickenheiser.
I am.
I'm Team Elysian Field.
But also, this is how we make fans. Like, I mean, I will admit I'm a little sucked in by this filly because we got to see her yesterday, and it is, this is something kind of in racing we can always think to do a little bit better. Getting people to be able to connect to these horses in any way, it draws you in and it makes you a fan. It's hard not to fall in love with them when you see them as up close as you can without being disruptive to them, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was pretty disruptive to her. But
You fell for every single horse that you saw right away.
I am a sucker. They know a sucker when they see one.
Right away. So we have the audio? Okay. Okay. Waiting to see if we have audio. You want me to put my feet in?
Dan, you can just call the race if we don't.
Yeah, we might have to.
Yeah, you can do it. No one will say anything terrible if you don't do a good job.
Flores
No pressure.
going up.
Here we go. We've got the audio.
Fashionably Fab. To gate number 7. So half the field has gone in. 45-70, about to link up.
So it sounds like we have audio.
Great.
Luis Contreras on Tito's calling. And Kazushi Kimura on Wickenheiser at 6-1 odds. Ticket tape home is 5-2. And the last couple, we've got Sky Chanet's going in now on Collect Dat. Courtly Rowe for Daisuke. And the last is Emma Jane on Me and My Shadow for the running of the Woodbine Oaks, presented by Budweiser, the 68th running of the Woodbine Oaks. The field is all in. Locked up. And they're off. And one of the best away, Big Brass Bet over on the inside, and Ticker Tape Home deep on the track, coming floating towards the lead with Fashionably Fab, who's run to the front and trying to settle his Friends for Life on the inside. 45.70 is lying in a good position in fourth. On the outside, Tito's Calling. A length behind them, settling well as Delphia, the centre. Elysian Field on the inside, and out wide, Me and My Shadow. A length away, Collect Dat. Tracks the main flight. Big Brass Bet got back to a little worse than mid-pack, and 2 to Great Cake, Courtly Row. 3 to Wickenheiser, second last, and last is Fly So Free, Ashley B. About 15 lengths covers the field in the Woodbine Oaks, and Friends for Life goes through on the inside to join Fashionably Fab. 3.5 Ticker Tape Home. On the inside, 45.70. A length, Tito's Calling. Back next, Me and My Shadow, Elysian Field, and Delphia. Off the track now, Big Brass Bet asked to make some ground 3 wide. A length and a half, Collect Dat, losing touch from Courtly Row, and starting a run, Wickenheiser and Fly So Free, Ashley B. And last is Great Kate. Racing together. Friends for Life on the inside at the half mile, ahead to Fashionably Fab, and only a length away, Ticket Tape Home jogging along in third. A length away in fourth, Tito's Calling making a run, and starting to wind up is also in the centre, Elysian Field, 45.70, and Me and My Shadow are there. Big Brass Bet is coming as they start to pack up, and Fashionably Fab joined by Ticket Tape Home. Wickenheiser's running on from the back pretty well, and Friends for Life dropped out. It's Ticket Tape Home, a length to Me and My Shadow, and as they come for the home stretch, Tito's Calling third, then Fashionably Fab and Elysian Field down the outside. Wickenheiser running on with Big Brass Bet. Ticker Tape Home raced out too, but Elysian Field is coming. Elysian Field on the outside, the stablemate, and has run to the front. Wickenheiser down the outside and Big Brass Bet. Elysian Field in front. Out wider, Wickenheiser. Elysian Field clear. Wickenheiser now the centre. Drifting, but Elysian Field. Sahin Savachi wins the Woodbine Oaks, 2.5 lengths. Wickenheiser second, 45.70 third, Me and My Shadow fourth, then Ticker Tape Home, Big Brass Bet.
Let's go! Let's go! That was us.
That was
310.
us. That was us.
310. What's up?
Oh, you have to be feeling like a new man right now, huh?
I feel pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
Good for you.
I
Good
feel
for
pretty
you.
damn good. But hey, 310.
310.
Those were our 2 horses. 1-2 in the Woodbine
What a
Oaks.
great race.
That was a great race. So, oh, God, that feels good. I love that feeling. I love that feeling. I love that feeling.
So
sorry. I love
for
that
me,
feeling.
I love cashing a winning wager. I love publicly being right so much. That is like the deepest satisfaction I get. So yeah, I get it.
Now, sadness. Final odds. 5 to 1.
No, you don't get to complain. You have a winning
5
ticket.
to 1.
Nope.
I wanted
Nope.
my
There'll-
10 to 1.
there'll
No,
be
look,
no
I'll take
complaining.
it. I'll take it. I hope some of the folks watching did the smart move and actually used our 2 horses in an exacta, not just the
'Cause
win.
We didn't.
We did not.
We did not.
We were smart enough to bet each of these horses to win, but not the exacta. Me and My Shadow, nice finish there.
Ran a big race,
to finish
for
fourth.
sure.
45.70 out of nowhere at 50 to 1, finishing third for another spicy trifecta. And the superfecta is going to be silly here again. So, all right, Elysian Field, Sihan Savachi, who I've learned is from Turkey.
Wow.
Is absolutely just had a baby, hasn't lost a race since having a child.
Well, that's some pressure. Yeah, I mean diapers are not cheap as far as my understanding goes.
I exaggerate, but he is like red hot right now.
That's amazing.
So he gets a Woodbine Oaks win, which is massive for him. We spoke to Kevin Attard yesterday. He said basically, if this filly puts it all together, Wickenheiser now, she's going to be tough. And
I think she's a name you should really keep an eye on
Yep.
for some of the turf-graded stakes races down the line. That was only her second start back off the layoff. Again, as you've learned from Mark Casse and me, third start of the form cycle. This is the way.
Yep. So she runs a big race there. 45.70 was fourth in the Celine last out. Had a little bit of an excuse, broke awkwardly there. She passed some tired horses late. And I think that's what you had here. You had a couple of horses. Look, this distance for a lot of these horses is just a bit too much.
Sure.
And so you had about at least 3/5 of the field kind of running in place late. you're a pedigree player. If you're able to spot this horse passing other horses in the previous races, you could have made the case, hey, maybe that's when I throw it underneath. That horse was not on my radar at all. So if you found 45.70 at 50-1, good on you. Let's just enjoy this a little bit more here.
You mean you would just like to bask in the glory of being right?
Oh, yeah, I like this. Thank you, Pops. Thank you. There's Monique. We miss you, Monique.
We miss her as well. She and Jeff were so nice to bring us into the studio and let us take over their broadcast for a little bit.
That was a lot of fun.
Really nice to get to meet some folks that I've known on the internet or as colleagues for a while, and it's been really fun.
She how about the fact that she was like, hey, do you guys want something to drink? I'm going out to get a drink. She came back with 2 waters for me and you and nothing for herself.
Correct.
She's like, I only have 2
Because
hands, so
Canada.
I'm just taking it. I mean, so Canada. SPN, huge race by Wickenheiser, made money across.
She may be mine too, SPN.
Yeah,
If she moves forward and she's shown she can run with the boys, that could be an interesting angle.
I guess it's a possibility.
She did finish second behind Simcoe last time out, so I don't think he's going to be shy about running her back against the boys.
Yep. I'm also going to put this up just because I'll take him when I can get him. I'll take him where I could get him. Thank you, SPN. Let's hear about those winning tickets. I know you people watching have hit some tickets. Let us know what you hit. There's the horse right there, Elysian Field. Let me read. Obviously, you see the Team Valor colors there. Gary Barber. Mark Casse. Mark Casse wins at Woodbine Oaks.
Good for him.
So he won.
So he took time from, David included, preparing a Woodbine Oaks winner for her day at the races to come talk with us up here. I mean,
You remember what I told him earlier, though? I said I had lucky score in the Highlander, and I like Elysian Field here. And I was like, this probably doesn't matter to you.
I don't think it did.
But when I like your horses, they win. That was kind of what I was trying to tell him.
So
I don't think he cared at all.
You also have to think about announcers who don't call your winners as well. So this is, I feel like you have an entire list of people that cannot give you a winner or can.
But I'm actually a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan of the announcers regardless of whether they give me a winner. So, but yeah, and with trainers, I mean, like, I don't look at that stuff really. Like, I mean, I don't say I don't look at trainers and jockeys, but like, I didn't even realize Sion Savaci was riding until like well after I landed on this horse.
Sure.
Like, I don't like most of the jockeys at this level, they're good jockeys. Like, they're not.
They are, but I actually pay a little bit more attention to jockeys
you?
and trainers because some of the riding styles are so different, and some, for me, are going to fit
That's
certain
fair.
horses
That's fair.
much better than others.
Yeah. If I see a jockey move, like a jockey coming back to a horse that he's,
Seeing that, I don't
You
really,
don't?
because that's sometimes the agent's doing, and there's sometimes more to those stories than meet the eye. It might be they have to because they have they want to stay in with their big barn, so the big barn makes says, well, you're gonna have to ride this one regardless.
So another example is like Delphia had Kimura up last out, but then Kimura jumped off and rode to ride Wickenheiser, and I told JD earlier, I was like, and I said it on air, I was like, that's the only reason I don't like the horse. Coming off a maiden win, I mean, I know she's obviously less proven, but when you have a top rider like that jumping off to ride another horse, I gotta imagine the other horse is the better horse.
I would think.
You don't read into that.
I sometimes think there could also be more behind the scenes between the agent and the trainer, and there are often multiple sides to those sort of things that I try to consider. So that isn't always the angle that I go on.
That's fair.
But that also may be some largely handicapping, maybe some smaller tracks where a jockey keeping business with a big barn
that makes sense.
Matters a little bit.
Yeah, you just got to ride for certain.
So there are certain jockeys that when the trainer says you ride, you ride.
All right. So Ellis has FOMO. Ellis is like, it's my turn.
Ellis, I'll keep the mic warm for you.
Ellis wants in. The payouts there, a little lighter than some of these bombs we've seen in some of these other races, but the exact is $76. The try, not bad at all, $601. Me and you could have done $310 all.
Yeah.
We would have won $600.
We could have.
That would have been nice.
Because we are only half smart.
We're only half smart. The swinger wager is not terrible. Look, if you have a 3, well, it's off the screen now, but I mean, again, if you miss this exacta, but I think the way to do it is you got to use, if you like a long shot, sure, bet that horse to win, bet that horse to place at a big price. You throw that horse in a swing or two, the horse finishes third, you don't want to bet the show, whatever it is, you get some money back. I think.
Well, I think it's a great bet that makes it approachable for a newer audience because everyone wants to leave feeling like they cashed a ticket.
That's exactly it. I think that's 100% it. So, look, it's 10 after 6. The Oaks is over. Lindsay, we have a super high five coming up. Is that right? Jackpot high five. Last race, so if you're watching from home, we're going to get out of here, but you guys should bet.
Yeah.
Because there's money to be made.
Roll what you want in this race.
Today's the day.
Back into the last race.
I want to tell you also, we had tentatively like 4 to 5 guests scheduled to join us. We ended up with 3, which means you had to carry a lot of this, and you're amazing, and you did an incredible job.
Oh, likewise. This has been so fun. I mean, we've been friends for a very long time, so to get to do this in person, not with me sitting in my closet / studio at home doing this, this is great.
All right.
Thank you for having me, and thank you to Woodbine for their hospitality. The fans here have been amazing. The horsemen and women have been wonderful. This has just been the best weekend.
Yeah, no, it really has been nice, and it's been good to see you in the setting, and people truly be overjoyed to see you up here is kind of a cool thing to watch. So.
It's not often the response I get, so it's been lovely, and to everyone that's taken time to come up and say hi, I really appreciate it.
Cool, guys. Am I doing the closing spot, or are you doing it? Me or you? You guys? But who's doing the close video? You want the close video, or you want me to do it? All right, you do the close video. Before they hit the close video, want to give a shout out to our incredible team, Greg Charcuti and Alec Probst, just setting up this whole show like they do every show. JD Mitchell not with us today, but thank you. They'll be up next time for the King's Plate, and this has been fun. This is Woodbine Live. We will be back here for the King's Plate, and we will see you next time.
It's America's original sport, and no one covers it better than americasbestracing.net. From the sport to the lifestyle, the best races, horses, and destination venues, cocktails, gambling, fashion, and more. americasbestracing.net is a sport for you.